Zainab was a 26-year-old woman living in a modest two-bedroom apartment in Abuja, Nigeria. She had always been focused, hardworking, and determined to make a name for herself through honest means. After graduating from university, she landed a decent job at a consulting firm and was doing well enough to afford her share of rent and some small luxuries. She shared the apartment with her two friends, Amoka and Precious. The three had been close since NYSC, but lately, Zainab had begun to feel out of place. Unlike her, Amoka and Precious didn't have jobs, at least none they ever talked about. Yet, they always wore designer clothes, used the latest iPhones, traveled to Dubai and Accra like it was nothing, and partied at Abuja's most exclusive clubs every weekend. Zainab was suspicious but never questioned them directly. She just assumed they were hustling in ways she didn't understand, but everything changed when Zainab's company downsized and she lost her job. At first, she was confident she'd bounce back. She had some savings and began applying to every job opening she could find. Days turned to weeks, and weeks into 2 long, exhausting months. The rejection emails poured in, her rent was due, and her savings dried up. She reached out to old colleagues, family, and even church members, but no one could help her financially. One evening, as she sat in the living room staring blankly at her phone, Precious walked in wearing a silk robe and diamond-studded slippers. "Zay, you can't keep living like this," she said. "Come out with us tonight. You need to breathe. Enjoy life." "I don't even have transport fare," Zainab muttered. "Don't worry. We got you," Amoka added, walking in with a Louis Vuitton clutch. That night, they went to an upscale club in Wustu. It was loud, luxurious, and filled with That night, they went to an upscale club in Wustu. It was loud, luxurious, and filled with powerful men in abbadas and designer perfumes. While Zainab sat quietly, sipping her free cocktail, Amoka whispered, "That's Mr. Salami over there. He owns properties in Lagos, Abuja, and even Ghana. He likes you." Zainab looked across the room and saw him, tall, dark-skinned, wearing a gold wristwatch that could pay off her rent for a year. He was 53, married, though discreet, and clearly used to getting whatever he wanted. Against her better judgment, Zainab began seeing Mr. Salami. He was charming, generous, and mysterious. Within a month, she moved into a furnished apartment he paid for, started receiving monthly allowances, and even got a brand new car. Her friends applauded her. "Finally, you've woken up." But something wasn't right. Mr. Salami never spoke of his business in detail. He'd take odd late-night calls in hushed tones and once flew to Benin for a spiritual renewal. One evening, Zainab stumbled into a locked room in his mansion when the door was left ajar. Inside were jars with strange symbols, blood-stained fabrics, and framed photos of women, including familiar faces. One of them was a girl they all knew from NYSC, Chinyere, who had gone missing 2 years ago. Another was of a young lady whose body parts were found scattered all over Abuja a few months ago. She saw this on the news, panicked. Zainab began doing her own research. Quietly, she reached out to a journalist friend. Days later, the friend confirmed her fears. Mr. Salami was involved in deep occult rituals linked to wealth and power. Every few years, a woman around him either disappeared or died under strange circumstances. Shaking with fear and guilt, Zainab packed her bags that night. Mr. Salami tried to stop her with sweet promises and veiled threats, but her mind was made up. She moved into a small hostel and cut all ties with him, and with Amoka and Precious, who she suspected knew all along. Months later, she found a job in an organization through the help of an old friend that even paid more than her former job. She worked hard and was later able to afford her own apartment and then started a small business for herself while working 9 to 5. She still had little luxury, and she had peace. She learned the hard way that not everything that glitters is gold, and some wealth comes at the cost of a soul.